Hello, my name is Tony Mares, and I would like to share with you a poem that I wrote many years ago, and it's a poem in honor of Popeye, the leader of the Pueblo Rebellion, the Pueblo Revolt of 1680. And I had thought before I wrote, for many years before I wrote this poem, I had thought that he was one of not only New Mexico's, but the United States' great unsung heroes. He was the leader of the first successful uprising against colonization anywhere in the world. And for that alone, I think he deserves great respect. In any case, this is the poem. Once a man knew his name. My name was the promise of summer, a cornucopia overflowing with food for the pueblos. My name was the harvest of gold, the gathering of life-giving maize, fields of ripe squash, beans, and chile beneath the sun, wind, and stars. As a child, I ran along the banks of the Rio Grande. I nibbled the sweet grass that grew there, blue grama, the little blue stem, chamomile, and the sunflowers. I learned the Tewa stories. We came from beneath Sandy Place Lake. Our first mother was Blue Corn Woman, the summer mother, and our first mother was White Corn Maiden, the winter mother. All is sacred in our world. Shimmering Mountain to the north, obsidian-covered mountain to the west, Turtle Mountain to the south, Stone Man Mountain to the east. All our hills are sacred. All our shrines are sacred. All our plazas are sacred. All our dances are sacred. All the directions and their colors. All are sacred for Okeawingi, the pueblo the Spaniards called San Juan. The Spaniards said our spirits were devils, their faith the one true faith. In the name of God, they destroyed our kivas. In the name of God, they burned our cachinas. In the name of God, they forbade our dances. In the name of God, they took me and flogged me and all our caciques. They took our Tewa names away and filled our mouths with the dust of our loss. As a young man, I took in the colors of life. I followed blue to the north, and my authority returned to me. I followed red to the south, yellow to the west, white to the east, and my authority returned to me. I visited the sacred hills and mountains. I knew the summer people. I knew the winter people. I knew my own name. My authority returned to me. At Taos Pueblo, inside the kiva, I invoked Paosayemu, he who scatters the mist before him, and my authority returned to me. When the war leaders came, I spoke with authority. I sent forth the runners like deer bearing the knotted cords to the 24 pueblos, to the 6 different languages, to all the directions and their colors from Taos to the Hopi villages. We unraveled the last knot in the searing light of day. We struck everywhere at once. We raked a fire across the sun. We let those Spaniards go who had lived with us in peace. We let them go. We drove the rest south from Santa Fe, down the valleys of sweet rivers to the mountains of Mexico. Years later, the Spaniards returned and marched north to Santa Fe. I called upon Paosayemu, he who scatters the mist before him, and the Rio Grande rose, flooded, broke the marching ranks of soldiers. The Spaniards scattered into the mist along the river. We broke their arrogance like bits of dry straw. We drove them away. We let them go. When the Spaniards came back, we fought them from our pueblos until tendrils of peace pushed up through the hateful crust of war. We worked the same fields, ate the same food, shared our fiestas and our grief. We became compadres and comadres. We worked things out. We endure like the earth and the stars and their swirling galaxies. My authority flows within and around the earth, within and around the mountains, like the waters flow through the Pueblo lands. I know my own name. I know my own name. I know my own name.